Yeah, welcome back to the Project Souq Grandeur. Like we said the last time, we actually had to bring this back. There's been quite a number of demands for this, and I am so excited that I am seated with a seasoned veteran real estate broker agent. In fact, don't let me just run all the title for you. Yes, before I actually go to review who I am with today in the studio, let me just give you a quick brief introduction about him. So I'll just run through his profile. Ambassador Dr. Engineer Adams Emmanuel, who happens to be the MD and CEO of Bricks and Gates Properties Limited. He started his career as a civil engineer in 2002.
Yes.
Wow, that's over 2 decades.
Yeah.
And then he's been building houses for people. Pretty nice, yes. Who doesn't just like to actually have that? Anyway, so he motivates into selling of real estate in the year 2016 with the establishment of Adams Garden Estates, Aton Water, and Ifo in Ogun State. And then he moved to the island in 2018 in expansion of the real estate business. He's a member of numerous real estate groups, including the BLG, the PBBN, and then etc. We all know this year. And then he's a recipient of various awards, including the Nelson Mandela Award of Excellence in Leadership and Integrity. Wow, sir. In fact, I am honored to actually have you here. Anyway, he's an ambassador of the Nigerian Society, Nigerian Youth Council, and he also received his doctorate from African Institute of Church Projects and Management. He currently manages and sells properties along the Coastal Road, Ibejuleki, and Epe corridors. His corporate office is at Block F4, Suite 095, GDP Plaza, Abamade Sonya Aja. And then if you want to check him out on Instagram or every other social media, I believe that's the same handle. It is at Bricks and Gates. Bricks and Gates. No abbreviation, just Bricks and Gates. It's nice to have you here with me today, sir. Ambassador Dr. Engineer Adams Emmanuel.
Thank you so much for
We've
having
been
me.
looking up to this particular resuscitation of the Souq Grandeur project, and it is our honor to actually have you as our first guest coming back on board.
The honor is all mine.
All right,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
So we'll just delve into it real estate. We're talking business right now, real estate. Right. After all the introduction and all, can we get to know you a little more?
All right. Thank you so much. As you've already and rightly introduced, my name is Ambassador Dr. Engineer Emmanuel Adams. I'm the CEO of Bricks and Gates Properties Limited. My story is a little bit funny. Yes, I read civil engineering in the university, and upon graduation, as a young guy, I started, building for people. I was building houses. And then I discovered in the line of doing that, there's interaction with what we popularly know as Omonile. So in that guise, because I was building for people, I started having this connection with them, and that led to me selling lands, for them. And it dawned on me that I shouldn't just be doing that just for free, because it was really, really moving. And I decided to, go into it full-fledged. And I was able to discuss with the said Omonile around that area that time. And they carved out a section for me to help them dispose that. As long as I get buyers, they are not going to, encroach on that. And God being so kind, I was able to do that at a record time. And that opened my eyes, because I didn't charge anything. My aim then was just to get the land for my client and build. It was the building that I thought, was this thing. So having sold that, it dawned on me that this could really be, a good business, because it was really, really moving in my hands. And I went ahead and discussed further with the Omonile, and they carved a bigger place for me, and I branded it. So that was how my first estate, Adams Garden, Alakwoti, started. And, I was able to also sell off in record time. And we moved to the next stage like that. And today we are here because, once you're doing business and it's moving, you tend to want to expand. Mm-hmm. So we decided to expand to the Ibejuleki corridor, because we kept hearing how, prosperous and how, people are running to that section and being in the field. you keep your eyes and ears on the ground. So we decided to expand into that corridor, and that was what led us to come to this side of the state. And since then we've been here doing business within the Ibejuleki Ekpe corridor. So that is it.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful story. So I was going to ask you next how you got the idea that you wanted to actually venture into real estate, and then what prompted that, and the journey so far. But I think you've actually said all that in just in this brief intro. So the next thing is the experience so far. With what you just said, what has been the experience? How have you been able to enjoy it, and you've been able to keep going so far? It's been over 2 decades.
Yes. Like I said, when you're doing something and you just find out that the thing is really moving and it's really paying your bills, you tend to want to dig deep into it. So that led to me learning more about real estate precisely. As a civil engineer, I have an idea of what real estate is all about, but really going into it, it's a different ball game. You have to have people management, you have to know about financial management, you have to know about selling. So that made me to learn more about it, and it helped me in navigating some of these challenges that one would definitely face when you come into this industry, because the truth is that there's no industry without its challenges. But I was able to learn, and by kind of like observing, by asking questions, by going for education in the field of real estate and getting certified and co. So it broadened my knowledge, and that really helped me to overcome a whole lot of challenges. And I must say that during that period, I also did some consulting work for some other real estate companies, and that helped me to also learn some things while you're doing that. Even if there is a kind of like an issue, it is not borne directly by you, because you are not the one and the owner of the project. You are consulting for them. So it helped me to learn a lot of things, and that really helped me. So when I ventured out and I'm seeing those challenges, I already know how to overcome some of them. Maybe I should just mention one or two of those challenges that I experienced. There was a time we wanted to buy a piece of real estate land, and some of the Omonile came up and claimed that they are the family, the owners of the land. And true, they were, but that's not all of them. It's just some of them, and the others were still alive and kicking, but they are not in the same locality. Some of them are in outside Lagos State. So we started dealing with them, thinking that they are all there is, and we started making payments, and it was when we wanted to take possession that the other family member came up, and they were like, you cannot take possession, we don't know you, this and that. And it became a whole lot of mess, because the people that collected the money, they did not deny, but they were like, in subsequent payments they will give to the family, and those ones were adamant that no, they want from the share of the initial payment. And with that, they didn't grant us permission to take possession, and our money is tied down. Investors fund, so investors were dragging us, off-takers, the clients that we already introduced the project to, we are already also dragging us. So it became a whole lot of mess, and you cannot keep investors' money hanging. So it really didn't go down well, but to the glory of God, we were able to resolve the issues, and we are here today.
Oh, sir. So before we go further, very important question on what you just said. How were you able to resolve it? What was that particular unique strategy that you actually used to resolve this? This is because of other people who are actually in the field.
Yes, one thing is that there is nothing that cannot be resolved without dialogue, as in you have to, if you sit down and you dialogue, you'll get to the bottom of everything. And that was exactly the strategy. We had to call all parties involved, and we were more or less like a mediator, but we are in the middle of the whole thing. It's our money that is being tied down, but we called the families together, and we mediated, and we came to an agreement in that yes, we have paid to these people, and they are not denying that fact. The only issue is that they've used the money for some other things, and we still have certain balance to pay. All you need to do is just to exercise patience, and then we had to pacify them by paying the next installment of the money for the land in their presence of every party. And we paid the installment, and then there was an agreement on sharing, how to share the money, and that's resolved the whole thing. So we went into the land, we took possession, and we started selling, and subsequently we paid out the money. So that was just how we resolved the issue. There is no, just have people management, sit down, hear two sides, look for the common ground, and that is it. But I must say, if we do not have the next installment to have paid for the land, perhaps we wouldn't even be here, because everything is still money. But then it wasn't an amount that we arrived at a very reasonable amount for subsequent payment, and that was it. It was a win-win for everybody.
Thank you for that. Yes, sir, so let's delve into the main thing. New Lagos. Everyone is talking about the New Lagos. So what does New Lagos mean to you? And this time around, it's not just the general term New Lagos, like everyone says. From your field of expertise, over 2 decades, what is the caption New Lagos when it comes to the real estate space?
You see, one thing about real estate is that it is infrastructure driven. And when we say New Lagos, that means it is a place that government is having their interest. It is a place that infrastructure, let me use the term, the infrastructure hub or hotspot right now in Lagos. And that is why it is termed New Lagos, because all investment is going to that area. Commercial development, residential development, infrastructures like roads, airport, you just name it. Everything is going to the corridor we term the New Lagos. And the term New Lagos is because the old Lagos is already old and already saturated, and to get large expense of land. For example, you want to build an airport, you can't site an airport in Ikoyi. Where would you get the space? You understand? Even if you can create the space, it will cost a whole lot of money for so many reasons, settlements, a whole lot. So the best place is to look for a close area that is, not too far from the existing city center, and then start development. So that is why this corridor is the New Lagos, because new infrastructure is coming, and that is what matters. That is what gives value to real estate project. That is what makes people to be interested in certain areas. Let me take an example. Some years back, the capital of Nigeria was moved from Lagos to Abuja. Sure. And once that announcement was made, infrastructural projects started in Abuja. And that made people to begin to, relocate to Abuja, because jobs were created. Roads were being constructed. The road needs people that will work. So engineers moved there, artisans moved over, laborers moved over, both skilled and unskilled. Everybody was going there. And because the projects were coming back to back, most of them started moving their families over. And once they move over, they will need accommodation. Yeah. Their children will need schools to go to. Sure. They will need hospitals. They will need, and government is putting all this in place. And before you know it, everybody start going there. They said schools will need staff. They said hospital will need staff. firefighting organization will need staff, the police will need, accommodation and all sort of things. So before you blink, the whole place started developing. The same thing is happening in the New Lagos corridor as we speak. Development is going on there, and then the companies going there, they will need their staff, and their staff will need accommodation, and from the accommodation their families will start coming, and then their family member will need some other facilities, hospitals, schools, and what have you. And before you know it, so it is for those who can quickly key in now that will enjoy the most benefit of the New Lagos.
Sure, pretty much nice, sir. So quickly, still on the New Lagos, one of the key infrastructure that the government actually put in place in the New Lagos is the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. So what major significance has that impacted to the development that is happening in the New Lagos?
Beautiful. Like I said earlier, that infrastructure drives development. It drives value. Now, the coastal road is going from VI all the way to Calabar, and construction is going on, and the Lagos axis is almost completed as we speak right now. Work is non-stop, and because of that, the value of properties along that axis has gone up. The value have really gone up, and right now investors are trooping in to be positioned. Everybody wants a place that is closer to the road. They want large expanse of land because of the value that is going up, so they can build commercial properties, and that will attract investors. And this is what is happening around that corridor right now. So because of the road, the value of property there is going up, and it's not stopping right now, because as people are developing their own property, the next one, the value is going up. The stage at which your, let me say, a bare ground, the value of it, after a while, if you now put a structure on it, the value would have increased, and it will definitely affect the next property beside you that is even still a bare ground. And before you know it, the value in that area is going, because of the road construction. We are opening road. Traffic will increase in that side. Commercial activities will increase in that side. And people will want to stay close to where they work. And then, back to the circle I said earlier, schools will want to, be located there. Hospital will want to be located there. And before you know it, becomes a bubbling city center. So that is the effect of that coastal road right now, opening up the area for commercial activities.
All right, sir. So still on the New Lagos, with your expertise, I know, and I know you've probably been dealing with quite a number of them. So what kind of investors are actually looking towards the New Lagos right now?
Okay. Actually, I would say institutional investors, those ones that buy large, let me say, bulk properties. They are coming in there. They want to build skyscrapers. They want to build malls. They want to build, office complexes. They want to build, commercial properties. So they are rushing to that axis right now. Imagine from Ibejuleki to VI would take you roughly about 25-30 minutes to drive, and the road is so wide and smooth. So that alone is an attraction. And then the value of the land right now is increasing, but it's still at the low level. And for the smart investors, they key in when the value is still very low at pre-development stage. So those institutional investors, they are keying in now so that they can buy as much square meters as they can get, and build world-class structures on those pieces, and then have a good turnover. Aside that, even people in the diaspora, they are rushing to that corridor right now for the same reason. They may not have the capacity to buy large or bulk spaces like the institutional investors, but they could also buy pretty large square meters, and they mostly do developmental projects, like building for residential purposes, or some malls and stuff like that. So people in diaspora, they are also investing in that corridor. Also, let me use the term the middle income earners, those that we call comfortable here, that their income is pretty okay. They are also buying into that corridor as we speak. Development is, in fact, right now, for you to get a piece of land in that corridor, you have to be very intentional, because the price is going up every day. So apart from that, then others that are also interested or buying into that corridor are the real estate developers. Most of them come in to develop residential houses, because in fact, without these real estate developers, I think the rate of development in that corridor might be slower than what we have. They are the one really, really making the growth in that corridor to be very fast, because they are buying also large expanse of land, turning it into residential schemes, where people like you and I will, take a plot or two or three, and then develop and what have you. So those are the people really, really keen into that corridor right now.
Beautiful. What, like, there's this popular Yoruba saying, I'll just say it in English. Even in Lagos, there's Lagos. So inside Lagos, Lagos State.
Yes,
So what are the top spots right now in the new Lagos axis that people are actually rushing here? Basically, that's the
like I said, that development is coming to Ibejuleki, Epe, and Co. And just like some few years back, we had development in Lekki Phase 1. VI has always been developed, and then it extended to Lekki Phase 1. And then people were saying that Lekki Phase 1 is far. So they didn't really buy into it on time. But most people who had that opportunity are regretting today. And most of them have actually learnt their lesson. So they are not making that same mistake anymore. So once they hear any new project, especially where it has government presence, they rush at it because of the experience that they have. So that corridor now, once development starts, because in Bejuleki itself, we have the free trade zone area, we have Dangote refinery, we have the Lekki deep sea port, we have the airport, we have, a whole lot of government presence in that axis. And like I said, they will need staff, their staff will need accommodation and co. So right now, Awoyaya is, attracting people, it's really, really catching up, because it's in between Lekki corridor and Epe, Ibejuleki. Then Ibejuleki axis is also attracting because of the free trade zone and all this government presence in that area. However, that area may have more of industrial presence and very few residential spots. So if you are lucky to have a place in that axis as we speak, hold on to it. Same thing with Epe axis. Epe axis will be like an overflow of Ibejuleki, and it will be more for residential thing. So if you have a property or you are intending to get one, Epe is not a bad place to invest. Ibejuleki is solid. Along the coastal road is gold mine. So all these axes, if you are able to key in, please do so.
All right, sir. All right, sir. So you just mentioned Epe, and we've actually heard news about Epe and then the whole chaos when it comes to the media. What's your take on that, Victor?
Okay, yeah, there was a period that government announced that all sales, all land document processing for any land in Ekpe should be on hold. And that was because they needed to redesign and ensure that the design for the town of Ekpe meets their, proposed, or let me say their expectation. because they are really, really focused on this axis as mentioned. They don't want you buy into a place and then you discover you don't have access road to your land. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Just because some people who call themselves landowners or monile, they are just selling at will because they discover that a lot of people are trooping into the axis and they will just start selling without layout, without plan, without structure. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, but for a responsible government, they have to checkmate that. And that was what they actually did and suspended all document processing for the axis of Ekpe. For those who have already bought before that time, good for you, and you have your document. You are good to go. They factor that into the design of the Ekpe axis. So it really is not everybody that is being affected. It's probably the new entrant, And however, right now we understand that you can process your document right now. So it is opened, and because the design have already been made and stuff like that, so you could easily go as far as it falls within the expectation or the place earmarked for such development. You don't have any issue. And I mean, this is one thing that people do not really do. They just buy land because they trust what the agent or the Omonile said, and they will not go ahead and do due diligence on their land. You should be able to do due diligence before paying for the land. That will tell you if the land is committed or not, if it is within the proposed area it should be or not. That way your money, your investment is protected. But if you just buy just because you believe the word of someone, I mean, you yourself are positioning yourself for trouble. You're gonna, lose out because road can be sold to you. And if that happens and government is ready to build the road, your house will go. So tomorrow they will say, government is demolishing houses, government is not giving us papers for our land. But where is the location of your property? And then you start saying, I didn't know. Ignorance is not an excuse. So it is important that you get proper check done on your proposed property, even before you buy. And even if you have done the mistake of buying already, it's still not late. You've probably not done substantial development on the land. And even if you have, I mean, it is better for you to know the state of things before it actually happens. And that is where government is coming in, redesigning the whole of Ekpe and then releasing it back to you. And I must say that Ekpe, there's a part that falls within Lagos State and there's part that falls within Ogun State. We are talking about the part that falls within the Lagos State. The Ogun State is still there. I mean, so that's just what we have.
I was going to mention that truly, because Ekpe is actually a vast land, and then the overflow has actually been something that people actually been debating for years. Is it Lagos? Is it Ogun? And all? And then people actually say some parts are so, but Nigerians actually just like one thing being one place, so they want to know if it is Lagos or if it is Ogun and all. But now my question is, with the whole overflow and then a whole lot of people trying to extend to other regions and still counting as Lagos, should there be a scare for those who actually inhabited a certain place, and then for those who are actually coming on board too? Is there like a scare, and what can they actually look on to actually say that okay, there shouldn't be this scare, because basically every problem actually has a solution basically when it comes to real estate.
Let me use this scenario. You're a student and you just go to school, you live life as it comes. You go to classes only when you feel like. You spend more time with your friends and co. And then when they announce that exam will start so you started fretting and you're scared and everything because you were not in class, you were not prepared, and then you know that if you fail this exam, is it that extra year, and even your friends will laugh at you. Your family member will start, giving you some kind of side eye and stuff like that. But for a student that actually prepared, going to class every day, reading after lectures, going to the library for more research, such a student, when he hears exam is coming, may be afraid, but is prepared. And when such a student writes the exam, you expect that such student will pass such exams. The same thing, applies to you that you're building. You did not do your due diligence and you just build because it was your brother that introduced the place to you. Your brother cannot see something that is bad and push you to it. But did your brother do due diligence? Did you do due diligence? So if you didn't do due diligence, you are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. If you say the place is not committed, but what if it is? So for you to be 100% sure, for you to be so certain, go ahead, do the due diligence. Instead of, it's just like buying a car and then you said you don't need insurance because you're a careful driver. What of the other drivers on the road? So you're buying a property and you say because other people have built there, so that means this place is good. There's no government presence here. I can go ahead and build. What if down the line, 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line, government now said, okay, we want to, do something here, and then your own piece of property is in the center of that project. And then they now said, okay, since your project is there, present your document for compensation. And you don't even have any documents because you did not do, if you were to do due diligence, you would have known that you cannot even get any document because of, the location and government interest in that place. Even, all these plans we are talking about is not today that those plans are there. They have drafted it. And that was what they are doing in Epe. They are redrafting. It has been drafted. They are redrafting. And then, they made it known to people. So if you are now buying and you are not going to check if your land is in a committed area, I mean, you are just the one doing yourself. So when it's time for government to now use the place, because according to the constitution, all land is vested in the government. They are the owners of the land. And, they can, however, come at any time that they want to do it. So if you don't do due diligence, you are the one putting yourself up for problem. So we implore everybody to always do due diligence. Don't just take anybody's word for it. Let it be an evidence. Let it be that, okay, my brother said the place is good. And actually, when I checked, it is a good place. Have your proof. And if it is not, my brother said this place is good, but when I check, it's not good.
That's more of research. Try to find out
simple
about all these things.
You should be able to use maybe less than 100,000 to secure millions of naira. But you don't want to spend that 100,000 naira and you want to lose a million naira. I mean, how can you be pound foolish and pound wise and penny foolish?
Penny foolish. So much wisdom in that. Yes, sir. So a quick action. All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador Adams. There was so much wisdom in that. But now that's enough for. Let's talk about you and what you actually have to offer. New Lagos, basically. I was going to ask you two quick questions in one, but let's actually look at it. What are you offering people who want to actually invest? Let's start with residential first. A lot of people actually need settlement, so let's start with residential. What do you have when it comes to residential?
Okay, Bricks and Gates Properties Limited also does brokerage, and that means we also liaise with other certified, verified real estate companies, and we do this check so that we know the kind of product that we push out to people, so that when they buy into it, there won't be any stories that touch at the end of the day. So we have a lot of apartments, buildings around the New Lagos corridor. We have 4-bedroom bungalows. We have 3-bedroom bungalows for outright sales, like in Elerongbe, the Lekekbe Express way corridor. We have 4 and 3-bedroom going for about 80 million with an initial deposit of 15 million naira. You can key in and spread the balance for over a year with very little interest on it. Now, this property, it's very good for you to stay in, as in you want to move in and stay with your family because of the nice environment. It is, there is no noise, no, all these miscreants around. There's nothing like it. It's a structured estate, and you have power. You can also put solar if you desire, because solar will guarantee you more light, more power, and the road paved and everything. So from the express to this building is less than a minute drive, and most of all of the estate we're talking about is less than a minute, that they are at most less than 3 minutes drive, and they are all structured, secured, even with CCTV coverage and everything. There's communal swimming pool. You can also decide to put your own swimming pool. There are other facilities within the estate, like schools, hospitals, and what have you. So with an initial deposit of 15 million naira, you can key into it and spread balance for over a year. You choose between a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom bungalow, and that is one of the offers that we have right now. It's selling. We have very few units left right now. And most people, when they buy, some buy more than one unit. They rent out some, they'll stay in some. Like one of my very dear clients, he bought 3 units. He said one for himself and his family, one for his parents, and then the last one for rental, so that he can have a sense of cash flow and stuff like that. There are a lot of people doing that. So I implore people to take advantage of such properties right now.
Thank you very much, sir. So that's for residential. Now, coming up to commercial, people actually like money. Like you mentioned, cash flow. Yeah. So people actually want to actually make money. People actually investing commercially into the new Lagos.
Yes, the new Lagos will generate a lot of commercial activities, and people are, already constructing a lot of commercial projects. We have malls, we have office buildings here and there scattered along the coastal road, and the new Lagos, as we are talking about. Right now we have pieces of land, I mean plots of land, at the minimum of 1,000 square meters, still along the coastal road, going for almost about 35 million naira. And people can easily buy that and start construction. It is verified, there is no issue, and you can, in fact, we encourage you to do your due diligence. Like I said earlier, don't take anybody's word for it. Do your own due diligence, so that you say, exactly as you said, that's how I met it. That is what we love to hear. So we have this properties, minimum of 1,000 square meters you can buy, and then construct whatsoever you like, maybe a mall, maybe a school, maybe, whatsoever commercial property that you may want along the coastal road. Very strategic positioning. Okay.
All right, sir. So this is Project Souq Grandeur, and like we actually have think outside the box. We are offering you offland and be real. What would you tell people outside there today about real estate, and then how would you sell yourself that people should actually come and buy from you, or actually
real estate in Lagos, Nigeria is about trust. It's about trust, and that is what we are. We don't just want to give you our word. We want you to take our word to the bank, so that anywhere you get to, it is exactly how we said it. We don't want to just point you to a place. We want to actually take you by the hand, take you to that place, stand with you, and ensure that you take full possession. That is the way we are building our brand, because we believe we are selling trust. Because over the years, we've seen a lot of people who have lost out because due to that, they don't trust, any person anymore. So we are stepping in to close that gap, so that, when you want to deal with us, you're dealing with a trusted brand, and will ensure that our trust is protected, as in there is no case or no ground for you to feel cheated or feel as if someone lied to you or deceived you or something like that. So that is what we are doing. That's why we are saying that anything we give you, verify, so that you say exactly how you said it. That was how I met it. That is the thing. So you want that to happen, hit us up, contact us. Our office is at Abraham Adesanya HFP Plaza in Abraham Adesanya Shop 95 Block F4. We are there located, and you can also contact us via any of the social media handle at Bricks and Gate. So that is how you can contact us.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Ambassador Emmanuel Adams. It's been an honor to actually have you on this very episode of the Project Souq Grandeur. We hope that you actually would come back again to share more knowledge with us later on in the future.
It's been nice to have you, sir. Thank you so much.
Very much.